You had exhibited a lot of shows recently in Milan, Switzerland, and London. Have you got plans for any more come in the near future?
Yes, I mean, exhibitions are always like on rolling, so there's always a time, there's an incubation period of where you're courting or galleries are courting you, and then a period of time of discussing what fits into their schedule and what works for you, and then the preparation for the show, and then the show, which seems like the smallest part of it, and then the post-production of getting things back. If a gallery shows, in commercial spaces, they're more straightforward often because you produce the work for those shows which get sold at the gallery, hopefully. And then if it's like for museum show stuff, they're much more rigorous, obviously, in their schedule, a sense of when things will be created happening, what they're going to select and have in them, the loan documents, and those will be exhibition prints which go there and then come back to you afterwards. So I think at the moment there's just been shows that finished in Vienna, which was a lot to do with Lee Bari. There's one about to start in China, which is material from the New Yorker magazine of doing a big show in China in a museum there, which will include my work because I work quite a lot for the New Yorker. And on the pictures they got there are Lee Bari pictures which I did for his obituary in the New Yorker under Tina Brown. And then there'll be a show starting in the Hamptons, which will be a more commercial show. There'll be another show in Los Angeles. There is also an ongoing show which is going to be extended at the High Rolling Casino at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas, which I have an arrangement. I work a lot with Robert Earl, who owns the Planet Hollywood franchise, and he has bought a lot of my work in the past and collects it. So we're always trying to do things, work out new ways of presenting the work and selling it. And then in Berlin there'll be another show which will happen towards the end of the year, probably in the fall, just after summer break, which will be a commercial show as well. And then there's a show which I'm not sure how long it goes on for at Louis Vuitton in Paris.
Wonderful. And finally, can you tell me what has been your biggest challenge as a photographer over these years? And perhaps most importantly, what has been the most rewarding aspect of your work?
Well, I think the challenging thing, like anyone who's self-employed and also is a creative, is that you are at the vagaries of changes of culture and fashion, which in the sense, I don't just mean in the sense if you're a fashion photographer, you go out of fashion, which often is with photographers because people are always looking for something new, and that's just the way it is. The adjustments to just the physical things of the way photography has changed and the approach and what people want to get from it and the way it's represented, and it's sustaining a career, which is a working career. Like I said at the beginning, it's you hire to make a living from it and to sustain it over a long period of time in arguably quite a fickle business. And I think that like anything, like writers, I think that you have certain periods within that creative life, and I think that you go through, so if I look at mine now, because arguably I've been doing it a long time, is I can be much more succinct about, oh yes, how certain things fitted into what I've done. So how Lee fitted into that passage, how perhaps war photography fit into it, how my time in Los Angeles fit in, the time I was on contracting, Sunday Times magazine covers, and you get a much broader perspective of what I've done and what I do, and I suppose it's realising and not trying to continue to knock at the door which doesn't want to open any longer. It's moving on and accepting about moving on and actually realising that moving on is a good part of the process of continuing to be engaging in what you're doing.
Fergus, this has been very interesting. Thanks again for taking the time to speak to me.
Pleasure, Ahu.
Thank you.